10 en Las Vegas, el Mandalay, va a ser una superestrella. Sergey es un tremendo peleador, un tremendo boxeador. Yo creo que va a ser una pelea difícil, pelea fuerte, pero para mí Virgil va a ser la cara de boxeo.
Claro que sí. Y hablando ahorita de algo más que me quieras agregar a tu boxeador, o ¿por qué la cara del boxeador?
No, pues Virgil está listo para pelear con cualquiera, para pelear con los mejores del mundo. Y yo creo que las 154 libras puede subir a 160, 168. Así que hay muchos contrincantes, muchos peleadores. Yo creo que Virgil sí va a ser la cara de boxeo muy pronto.
Oscar, I wanted to ask you, Oscar, the last couple of fights have been sort of drama-filled for you. With Virgil Ortiz, you can just focus on the boxing, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly. No, it's he's a breath of fresh air, man. I mean, what we've been put through in the last few weeks have been not surprising. It's boxing. That's just the way you got to roll with the punches, you know. I've been through this situation many times over. Since I started the company 20 years ago, we've had fighters and cases and this and that. So, but no, Virgil, he's all about business. He's all about fighting, being the best, fighting the best. I think Virgil is on his way. He's on his way and becoming great. You know, he's a very, very talented fighter with a great team around him. But now's the time to take that next step, and that next step is August 10th.
And it does seem like the path is opening up for him. I mean, you had Pandora here. And
Sure, exactly. No, the path is opening up, and when Virgil told me, look, I want to fight at Dallas Cowboys Stadium and fill it up, I believed him then, and I believe it even more so now. Stars are aligning, every fighter is aligning towards the path of Virgil filling up Dallas Cowboys Stadium very soon.
Do you think that you have a great opportunity to sign Shakur Stevenson?
I believe absolutely there's an opportunity. You know, it all depends on what I want to offer him. It all depends on what fighters, you know, we have on our roster. It all depends on their vision. Look, I promoted Mayweather 15 fights, 16 fights. And so there's kind of like a blueprint there, you know. He needs opponents. He needs the right names. He needs William Zepeda. He's a tremendous talent. I mean, probably one of the best top 3 guys out there, seriously, in the world. And he's still young. But I'm not sure what his market value is. And that's where it's making it a little difficult.
Yeah.
It made it difficult for Top Rank and Bob. You know, determining what the value is. I mean, it doesn't help when Shakur tells the world, well, I don't fight for the people, I fight for me. You gotta fight for the fans. The fans pay you. The fans are the ones who buy the tickets, buy the pay-per-views. So, regardless, look, I think Shakur is one of the best fighters out there. If it makes sense for us, then I'm sure we can work something out.
Oscar, mencionaste la renovación del contrato con Virgil Ortiz. ¿Por qué confía tanto Golden Boy en Virgil Ortiz para ser la futura estrella del boxeo?
Sí, no, y al contrario, Virgil Ortiz, gracias por confiar, Golden Boy también, pero tenemos toda la confianza del mundo con Virgil. Es un gran peleador, tremendo peleador, es el futuro del boxeo, Virgil Ortiz. No nomás por su edad, sus habilidades, pero 21 peleas, 21 knockouts, eso sí es algo impresionante.
Una cartelera a la par con Tom Loeffler, parece que va a ser una cartelera más relajada que las últimas que has tenido.
Sí, la verdad que sí, mira, trabajando con BBC, trabajando con Haney, un dolor de cabeza, pero no, Tom Loeffler es una tremenda persona, fácil de trabajar, él quiere hacer las mejores peleas y el público gana.
Oscar, what do you think about Ryan Garcia called out Virgil and he said he's serious about fighting Virgil? How big is that fight if it happens?
No, I'm very serious about that fight. I strongly feel that fight can be a super fight. You know, the build-up starts now, like literally starts now. I believe it was Ryan Garcia who called out Virgil. I believe they fought in the amateurs twice. I believe Ryan has 2 wins against him. So, I mean, 3 strikes and you're out, right? So let's make it in the pros. I think that's very doable. I think that fight at 154 can happen next year at Dallas Cowboys Stadium with Jerry Jones. I'm calling it now. I think that fight is very doable.
Many times you get criticized for nonsense, but today you did a major move, signing one of the biggest fighters, the guy with the best record. What does that say about Golden Boy and the moves they're making?
Well, look, I mean, business is business, and we know how to do it. I mean, I've been in the business as a promoter for 20 years now. There's a reason for it, you know. There's a reason why we've been involved in the biggest fights in boxing history, and we continue to do it. So, you know, whether it's with Ryan recently, whether it's with Canelo, whether it's with all the other fighters I promoted, you know, we have a formula, and you know, we have a track record. And so it's all about you know, treating the fighters right. It's all about making sure that you're transparent. It's all about making the checker checks the checker. That's what I say. And so, meaning, you know, I let fighters check everything at Golden Boy. I make sure that the fighters are comfortable and we're honest with them. And look, my books are wide open. So I think that separates us from everybody else, is that we're an honest company.
Okay, Virgil Ortiz against Earl Spence. You love it.
That's the dream fight at Dallas Cowboys Stadium. That's the dream fight, partnering up with Jerry Jones. I believe that a fight of that magnitude the fans deserve. So that's something that I'm going to be working on from now. If everything goes well, August 10th, you know, Virgil will be fighting again end of the year, and then possibly, hopefully, filling up Dallas Cowboys Stadium next year.
You're a gold medalist, you're 11, 12-time world champion. What advice do you have for Shakur right now after his fight?
I think the only advice I would have is you know, take a look at your career, your last 3-4 fights, right? And put a value on that. You know, put a realistic value on that. Don't overprice yourself. Don't underprice yourself. But really be honest with yourself and say to yourself, what am I really worth? Who do I really want to go with to progress my career the right way? Yeah, he has a lot of thinking to do, not just signing with a promoter, but look at the details. What team can really help you to elevate yourself to superstar status? You know, because yeah, he's a fighter that does deserve to make a lot of money, more than what he's making now. But it starts with him.
Oscar, you worked so hard to make Mexican Independence Weekend a boxing weekend, and this weekend coming up, it looks like it's going to be a UFC card, and Canelo's going to, for the second straight year, not taking that fight. What do you make of that, or how disappointed are you or bothered?
It's very interesting. Look, I'm not sure exactly who's going to be fighting on the UFC card. If any Mexicans are going to be fighting on the UFC. So it's pretty strange to me. You're holding a Mexican Independence Weekend fight night for Mexicans, right? But yet you have no Mexican main event. It just, to me, it doesn't make sense. Obviously, UFC is a machine, and it's probably going to sell out and sell great on pay-per-view. But it doesn't mean that they're going to take over that date. And who knows? We hear that possibly Canelo will be fighting on that day, on that night. So a lot of moving parts right now. But yeah, UFC obviously they're going to do very well. But I don't know if that's sustainable or long run or long term, you know, without having a Mexican. You must, in order to sell that night, you must have a Mexican main event. And that's probably what Dana White and the UFC don't really understand, because they haven't been involved with that date ever. So yeah, I mean, if they do it, all the best. I mean, go ahead. Yeah, more power to you, because it's still combat sports, you know. It still helps us as the sport, as boxing, but yeah, just
Oscar,
I
how
wish
would,
him all the best.
how would Virgil do
en
it?
español del 12 de septiembre, lo de con quién va a pelear Canelo.
No, UFC tiene una cartelera en Las Vegas. Va a ser interesante porque no creo que tienen mexicanos peleando en la cartelera, y esa fecha obviamente es una celebración para la afición mexicana, así que va a ser muy interesante, pero yo escucho que Canelo posiblemente pelee el 14 de septiembre en Las Vegas, así que va a ser muy interesante a ver qué va a pasar.
Virgil, how